super like we dance out to all this. It's like listen, this is a surprise. It's a Tuesday and we're doing this. Ironically, it was after I said I need to get back on my schedule, and I've just decided to do this because I feel much better doing this than I do Ace Attorney. At least tonight, you know what I mean? But I feel better doing doing this and just chilling. We'll finish Ace Attorney. I need to really buckle down and finish games. I have practically all sorts. I have like Dark Souls and I have Ace Attorney and I have like all started and never finished. Part of it is because I frankly couldn't be bothered. Especially with the likes like Dark Souls. Because yeah, Dark Souls was fun. Right? But once I reached like the DLC and stuff, I was like, no, it was before the DLC. It was around the time that I was getting stuck on Ponta that it started getting a little bit stressful, and I was just like, I want to give it up. And to be honest, I contemplated it, but then I thought, no, I better stick to my guns and do it. Which I did. Let me just crack a window open. I can already see my my headset steaming up. We got the lovely pretzel DJing for us. I'm still in the process of currently not paying them. I probably should. That's the problem. I probably should because I use it more than enough. I need to make that decision before I outlive the free trials welcome, because I can get 40% off, and I don't really want to lose that. You know? Oh, I smell. All right, that's fair enough. So what are we doing today? Well, I am so glad you asked, because where I want to take you today is I want to go and have a look around places just to chill, have a good time. We have this project there. Isn't that adorable? What's this about? I need to reset my scene. Hang on a sec. That's better. So we can do this, which looks like looks pretty cool. We'll do it invite only. Now that's quite a big download. Please bear with us as you see right here. Whoa, what are those? Why are they there? You know, in reality, I don't myself. Right, easy. I don't need to know what they are. Anyways, I feel like sometimes I'm such a moron, idiot. Woo! Gotta love the water. I need to go to shop. Ooh, ooh! Look at this. Ooh, I didn't like that. Right, you know what? We better actually stand up. The wall. There's the wall. I can actually zoom it out more. Alright, that's enough of that. Wonder if this has like my actual height in it. I haven't played this game standing up in a long time. Oh, how do I get to the old menu? Here it is. Drop that. If we drop it a little, my feet actually hit the ground and it actually seems alright. Where are we? Oh. Oh no, actually, I'll need to reduce because I'm still I am very much off the ground. It's only like now that I'm on the ground, which is why I look very, very tall. But it doesn't seem to be doing anything because I'm just... Alright. Seems worse than before. So let's... Oh, it's better. So we just need to like... Okay, so 6 is way too high. Oh, of course it won't work because I'm in the menu. That's better. Here I am just like... What up? I'm a floating, T-posing anime girl who's gonna like complete, like annihilate you because I'm so cool. Because I can must obey my every command. It's the penalty. Oh please, if I could be intimidating, I would be. Trust me, I'm more than likely one of the most like least intimidating people you'll ever meet. I make up for that in my intensity. I am a very intense person. I don't know if you could tell. It feels like it's good to just come back and be like, yeah, I love this. I love being in here. I haven't been in this properly. I did one the other day. I managed to figure out what was up with this. There was two. Basically, the Unity package held two versions of my model, the new one and the old one. And for some reason, I put all the expressions on the old one. I don't have expressions, but do you know what I do have? I got that baby. Yeah, so I'm down to like the basic expressions again, but they needed redoing, whatever. So I'm not too overly that. So this is Project Summer Flare. This world contains lunatic expressions. Please stay in a safe world if you are not comfortable with it. Respawn points of contribution. Both controllers are required in VR mode. Okay. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm just assuming I'm supposed to like walk. This. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's like a weird run animation on this world, and I know another world did exactly the same thing. Look at that. I think that is actually to do with the height. I could be wrong. Oh look. Look it down to 6'3". Let's see how that like. No, it's still doing it. My main like question is if I like drop it down to the actual height, does it still do it? No. So it's a problem with being too tall or short. Thing is, I have to like slightly crouch down in order for me to not be tiptoed. So I guess I'm just gonna have to put up with being tiptoed. Otherwise, the avatar decides to throw my legs over the other end of the world. Yeah, be fine. It'd be fine. I wouldn't worried. What we can do though is we can go and do the world. We can go and do the world like we intended. I will also ensure that I'm the right way around. We'll just jump over that. That's perfectly fine. Do a whoop. We go off the edge of the world. No, it knows. But don't worry, I know it's blurry. We were just under the sea. Under the sea. Uh-oh. I don't know which one's respawn. There it is. Okay, there must be something else then. I thought it was out there, but it's not. So, there must be something in here. Or up here. Let's have a whole check session. Ooh, ooh. We've got the old traditional Japanese side supermarket. Well, it's not even a supermarket, is it? It's just a convenience store. If you want to call it that. So it's a simulation of like what you genuinely think are Japanese like cities. Huh. It's pretty awesome considering I've never like seen one. Ooh, Subway. Or does this just take us back to the beach? Because it looks like that's what it's gonna do. I think it does. Yeah, it's just back to the front world. Let's go back down. Go back around. We'll see what beauty and things dwell further within. You know how sometimes you have that voice in your head? Whoa, we can't go that way. But that's it. There is this over here, but I don't know if this is accessible or not. Looks like it might be. Have you ever seen the Family Guy episode where Bonnie actually has the bib and baby comes out and it's got like the brain of Patrick Stewart? That's what I imagine my brain to be like sometimes. Just feel like I have this voice, I have like these ideas come out of my mouth, and then just on the inside is Patrick Stewart, who's just like, did you know I get paid £40,000 a month to be? That was a terrible Patrick Stewart impression. This is Patrick Stewart. How are you enjoying the movie so far? You know, he must have like some really, really, really deep implanted budget with like Fox or something in order to like do like American Dad and like Family Guy cameos and stuff. Can't go any further. I'm just testing the boundaries of this map because it seems very linear. Yeah, the way of those bushes. But I don't like the fact, so like, you know, people being like owned by studios and stuff. I don't like it. Oh, we're on his way to the shrine. Have to be respectful here. Yeah, we can't joke, we can't laugh. Very respectful play. I can interact with that. Okay. Oh, that's actually cool. Right. So I've got sounds turned off because sounds are quite annoying in this. But this is a bell, right? And you're probably thinking that, right? Well, bells can't do anything. Well, the thing is, I'm shaking it now, and the controls vibrate, which makes me just say, makes me think that if I had the sounds on, it'd be ding 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 ding. I tell you, I hate myself sometimes because I'm just like, do 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 do, and I think I go way too far with it. We can also travel up there. I think there's going to be something. But this needs to come all the way back to the beginning because we need to put it somewhere. It says put these items in boxes. So I assume these boxes are at the beginning. We've got to like ding 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 ding. It was also saying stay in a safe world, which makes me think there's other world within this one. But it doesn't seem that way. No. This seems more like a chill world than it does a spectacle horror. Where are these boxes then? Because this is saying put all of these things into a box. Where are the boxes? Got a watermelon. I got two. They're mine now. I don't like watermelon. Yes, so the watermelon is. We're just looking for a bowl now, I guess. I still don't know where the boxes are. Tell you what, right? We'll leave these. And we'll have a search for this ball. It also said if we are Whoops. I was falling into like a weird state of mind. It says if we're not quick enough, basically like the objects might despawn. Oh, there's a hole like downstairs. You know what this is? Oh, look, the ball. Ball's here. That's on our out, like when we come out. It's like an aquarium. Awesome. Right, so I get to take you on this little spectacle journey. Let me put this. Yeah. Cool. So no matter which way I look now, it will only move dependent on this, or however I want it. I can keep that down here just to make sure. Look at these little fishies. Look at them. We got some cool little fish. There's nothing on the other side. Don't worry, we won't miss anything. Sorry, I'm trying to fix like bits at the same time. Let's continue. We have multicolored fish. Look at them. Form like a little like inward spiral. There we go, we'll do that. I should also make it look better. We're not actually like another one. We got a lift to the first floor. But we'll take the stairs because we are very fit and very healthy. It's just to like get a better view of the air. That's all it is. I guess we are taking the lift. Hey, it's me. We already on this floor. Oh, no. Yes, we were. No, what? This is a... Okay, yes, I get you now. I understand. So, what we just went into here is a lift for disabled access. I gotta love it when your game's inclusive. Ah, that's where we go. Right, there is more. There is more. I thought we'd hit like the end, but there's actually more. We got the stairs and we got the ramp, and I think we'll take the stairs. Check these guys out. Got this little congregation of little tiny multicolored ones. Pretty much the same in most of the tanks. I'm not too sure what's supposed to be in that. Just little congregations. Itty bitty fishies. Oh, and then we hit the Motherlord. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, look at those ones. All the way up to the top. Stop moving the camera. All the way up there. Look at them. Nature is just simply amazing. Hey! It's us again. Who'd have guessed? Uh-oh. Gotta be careful, otherwise I might put a hole through my wall. Go through here. Let's see what. Oh, another fish. Wow. He's seeing this. Yellow ones. I'm sure people would look at me one day and be like, "You were amazed by this?" I'll just be like, yeah, of course I was." Because here's the thing, I'm well aware that they're just like triangles and stuff, and you know, in reality's sake, they don't particularly mean, they don't mean anything. But we live in the moment, right? And if you're going to criticize every little thing, you're not going to have a fun life, right? You're going to live a miserable, very unthought provoking life when you are just like, yeah, whatever. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know. Truth is, like, you actually, you kind of think about what you're doing, and you're like, you know what? I don't care what other people. I don't. I don't give two squat diddlies, right? Then you're living in the moment. Does that mean you should do something illegal? Absolutely not. Think about yourself and, you know, the world, right? Because you have needs you like want to fulfill, but the world has needs to fulfill, right? And you can't destroy the integrity of the world. Right. I'm not 100% sure where the boxes are, so I'm going to leave that side quest. We're gonna go down to the beach and we're gonna have like a sit down. And I'm gonna talk about something, right? Let's like jump off the side because we're rebels. Ugh. Here's a good place. Oh, the floor is a long way down. I just want to like have a sit down, have a chat, right? Because I want to kind of say this, and I want to say it properly, not while I'm running around like an idiot, right? One thing I do want to check. Yeah, we're good. So, make sure that you're right. So, big thing, particularly with like today's standards, things that are happening, or whatever. You should live in the moment, right? Because you don't know what could be coming next, right? I could walk out my house in the morning and get hit by a truck, right? I could get hit by a car. I could have a very normal day and nothing happen. I could get home to find my home on fire. I could, it's like if you live in the moment, you can learn to adapt and change things that are going on, right? You live a 9 to 5 schedule, right? Go to work, come home, do nothing, go to work, come home, do nothing, go to work, go home, do nothing, right? Like, you're just following a schedule that's normal and doesn't mean anything. Right? If you actually reach out and try to achieve your dreams, things you want to do, things you want to accomplish, then you're going to make it far, right? Because you have that ambition to do it. Now, you could be like me, who has the ambition to do things and just fails miserably at it because I procrastinate a lot, right? Procrastination. Pro whatever that word is supposed to be. Because I do that a lot, I barely achieve anything. Right? But it's not about achieving things, right? It's about having the ability to know that you want it, and no matter how much you do that, just putting a little bit into it makes it that much more worth it, right? And don't instantly think that, like, because you're kind of not doing anything or you're not doing much, don't think that that means right. It doesn't. Right? Every little bit that you put in, thing, even if in the end you get rid of it or you change something or you don't think it's worthy of being in there, doesn't matter. You haven't wasted your time. What you've done there is you've learned, right? You've adapted. What the key was, even if it was just a tiny bit, you put effort into that. You put the time into that. Doesn't matter whether it's good, it doesn't matter whether it's bad. Okay? The reason I bring that up, because I'm like, I don't particularly care about my wants, in the future. It's like I don't look to things, but I like to see, like, when other people achieve really good things, especially people that I look up to and people who I think there's good in there. There is somebody in there that can create something amazing. But the real question is, can you? And, like, the thing is, right, I've seen somebody pull themselves up from being, like, completely, like, done in, depressed, pushed up from being, like, in the lowest of lows you could ever be at, right? And they've actually gone out there, put the time, put the effort, no matter how much little they put into it, they created something, right? And they're proud of themselves. And if that person can do it, so can you. Don't idle by and watch your days go by and just twiddle your thumbs and think that there's always tomorrow. You never know what Mother Nature has in store. He is a cruel mistress, and she can cause grave misfortune if she truly wanted to. Makes some of it like really weird, doesn't it? Don't fear death. Make death fear you, right? There's another great saying. Why let death scare you? If anything, death should fear you. Right? Why let death be an instrument that stops you from doing things? Not that I'm saying like if your ambition is to jump off a cliff with no parachute, like don't do that. There's a difference between staring death and being stupid, right? And I think jumping off a cliff without a parachute or any form of safety equipment is stupid. There's a difference, right? And I think the difference is if there's a chance it can kill you, and the chance that it can kill you is very, very low, then you have nothing to fear. But if they decide, hang on, if I do this, there's like going to be an 80 to 90% chance I'm going to die. Forget that. Why would I go and do that? You know, and should you be afraid of death? You're gonna lose a lot of your life if you do that. It's not a free pass to be stupid, to do stupid things. When I tell you that you should not be afraid of death, you should not be afraid of whatever comes afterwards, right? You should understand that to mean always go and do what you want to do, right? But don't be stupid, right? Don't be a fool and do something that can get you killed. There's only so many times you can cheat death before he catches on, right? And I'll be very honest, he isn't stupid either. You can only cheat a man as many times as the amount of brain cells he does not have. And our old friend the Grim Reaper has quite a lot. You might cheat it once. I like to think like, cheating death and stuff. I like to think of the Final Destination movie. It's like all these people should have died in this incident, right? And once that timeline decides, imagine this is the beginning, this timeline decides to go like this, it's the Grim Reaper's job to then, right, these people should have died and they didn't. This is what we need to get this timeline to go from this back to this, which like kind of creates this nice like curve in graph in like graph form. Yeah. The Grim Reaper knows, and you have a set time. You don't know when it is. So what's stopping you? That's what I kind of think about when it comes to, like, I don't fear the Grim. I'm very cautious about like things that I do that might get me hurt. Because let's put it this way. If I do something that will invoke possible death and get severely injured, it might not kill me, but it might impact me in the future. So even though the advice is go and do what you want and don't let death stop you from doing it, there's an air that you will be responsible with it, and I'm not going to do something that will put me in like a wheelchair. It will give me like a disease, will make me very ill. Like I'm not going to go off and drink a bottle of like nitrogen peroxide. Like you need to use your common sense on that, right? And understand. Hey, Ray. We're just chatting about not being fooled. How are you doing on this wonderful day? That's pretty much my part on that. I might tell you to go and do what you want, but yeah, use your common sense. I'm just stopping by. Well, even if you stop by for a little while. Little isn't better than none at all. I'm just looking for chill places to be. Oh, we could go to the drone recruit. Ooh. Ooh. What's the ball pit? I'm hoping to get a Chinese today. You have one nearby. You going to order it in? I know when we need to get it here, we need to like call like really early in order to get the stuff in time. Ball pit. I hope you manage to get like a great dinner. Great Chinese dinner. Someone else will be getting it for you? Awesome. Guess you're getting that Chinese after all. Oh, I have the brain cells of like a 2-year-old. I hope you have a wonderful night. Making sure that I'm not got that on. I hope so too. I'm not holding much hope, but I hope I do. I'm gonna have a great night. I'm sat in a ball pit. Like, look at this. They like jump all over the place and you pick them out. And like I said, brain cells of a 2-year-old. Got it. I got one. Ah, it went away. Someone's gonna spawn into this world and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Ball pit." I'm losing my marbles, I tell you. I'm supposed to be like the mature person, and now here I am just sat in a ball pit, like flashing imaginary balls around. I'm gonna have a lie down. If I could lie down, that'd be really funny. I'd want to see like what that's like inside the ball pit. Come on, people. Join me. Join me in the ball pit of whatever this is. Dun, 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 dun. What I do? Took the fan out the ball pit. There's boundaries for him. They like come back. Might put that one there, and then we'll get the other one. and put it there. Yeah. Hours of fun, folks. Hours of fun. You ever wonder what it's like in VR? This is it. This is the epitomation of VR. You can come in and play with balls in a ball pit. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. You can play with. You can play in a ball pit. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm so ashamed of myself. Not only because I'm sat in a ball pit playing with balls, but I couldn't think of a better way to word that. Ah. I hate it sometimes. This is what it's like to have like smooth brain. And you can't think of things. Back. You've got to create like a big pocket around your front, right? Where you can't escape. Like, bring it in and give it a cuddle. Okay. No need to be so jumpy. I'm here. After you. Okay? No. Alright. Don't need to jump. No, you don't. No. Jump. Yeah. I wonder if like some of it is affected by the audio that's playing. But it's quite apparent that the fans do something. And obviously moving a button it does. Oh, that's cool as well. Right. There's like it's going to be difficult to show because I'm actually moving about. But you can actually like target where people are in the ball pit because it's like it 3D monitors like all of it. So there's like a monitor system, like a radar. Oh man. Right. What's this thing? Toggle mirror. Oh, we don't want a mirror. Toggle info. What the info was. But if we ever wanted, we could come and have a sit down. Let's go and have a gander. Have a look. What else this world has to offer? So we can come over here. Have a look. Got the whatever this is. Oh. Alright, we better drop that. This is it's gonna make like um the whole world rainbow. Guys, I don't want you to be alarmed. I think I may have just found the Loch Ness monster. Have a look at him. Have a look. Hello. Hello there, aren't you? Precious. Get indeed. Hello. Who are you? Oh, oh, he likes it. I'm gonna go now, but I'll come back. Bye later. I'm not 100% certain what it's supposed to be. I I think it's supposed to be a llama, but I can't be 100%. Okay. So I can pick those up apparently. There's like weird effects everywhere. And stuff like this behind me especially. Where, you know, it's just obscure enough that it can really make you think. Did I really need a duck with bagpipes as my spirit animal? No. Is it going to be? Absolutely. Can pick him up if you want. And there's 2 portals. But I'm not going for it. Because I do think this world's pretty. Oh, we can pick like everything up, apparently. Okay. Hi, Tiff. How are you doing? I like how your hair is too epic when you walk. What do you mean by too epic? The fact that it jitters in and out of all forms of reality. Hey, the true Loch Ness monster's over there. We're gonna see what it looks a bit glitchy. Yep, that's how it should look. It's not fantastic, even with people who know how to use it. Oh, it's not. It's it's a rock. It's the only way that it can be done, and even like on like top end things that people make, it's still kind of buggy. We're just chilling in the bull pit. Uh-oh. Being the big baby that I am. How am I doing? I'm holding out all right. I was meant to be playing Ace Attorney tonight. I think I vetoed against it 10 minutes before I started. Frankly, because I worked on this model and made sure that it worked, other than the last time I used this model, which it didn't. Plus, Monday wasn't a great for me. I don't exactly want to be going in and doing voices. Yeah, that's an attestament. Never stay up overnight to watch a series. Never do it, because you feel awful afterwards. And even though you feel like, yes, I watched it all, I feel amazing, you feel awful afterwards. Pick 'em and go on. I'm feeling hunky dory today. Absolutely top notch. Yesterday I felt awful, but it was mainly because I was tired. I was just talking about like how long ago now? How are we on? It will have been about 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Just talking about not fearing death. Yeah. Don't fear death, but don't be stupid. I'm going to sleep properly. But again, like, my choices were sleep properly or watch a series. And I don't know what would have happened on Monday. My option was it detrimental to my health? Not really. So I just watched it instead. And even though I felt bad, I don't regret it. You fear it or no? Do I fear death? Absolutely. I will stare it in the face. You know those like really bad like games that have like the good guys and the bad guys on one side and they're both like staring each other down? It's like, yeah, I imagine that and me and the Grim Reaper on one of those. That's only because it's sort of a recurring mental thing with me. Everyone has like different reasons to fear or not to fear. But it's not really something you should fear, because if you fear it, you'll live every day in fear. And that's not good. I know it's like, oh yeah, you should be serious about it. You should be serious about it. Well, not really, because I think when you tend to have that thought, it's not really something you mind if it does come to that point. You become pretty indifferent. I think definitely like as a child, right? As someone that doesn't like know the fear in the world that you can have, definitely like gonna fear death. But I think once she like grew up, it's not a good mindset to fear it. It's a much better mindset to kind of deal with it and understand that it's coming eventually. So why fear the day? Why not do anything? It's not about the fact that you're going to die. It's more about the fact of when. And if you fear it every day, then that stops you accomplishing things in life. That's not a good mindset to have when you're 20 and you're in your prime. You know, it's like you need to not fear it and actually do something. Never know what's in store. The finality of it also puts me in a calming state, especially when I'm freaking out. I kind of get that. I'm not I'm not going to particularly say that it's a good thing. I just see it as like when I snapped. Oops, somebody else. Hello. I just think like when I went into a bad state, it really makes me like think. Got to be really careful about that person. Oh, they don't give you much settings anymore. They have good support though. That's good. That's a lot of it. A lot of it's like having the people around you. You know, and it's like learning to I've got to watch out for that model because we got to get out of there. I don't like that model. Go back to the cove for a bit. Yeah, that's why we had to get out of there. Honestly, I'm expecting people to come into that with a lot more provoking thoughts. You know, like, oh yeah, you know, maybe I should wear like a much like more suitable model if I'm going into public world. Nope, none of them do. They all wear big booba and very skimpy. Is very questionable. always think about the monkey with his thing out. At one time, like no joke, I hit start streaming, and then this monkey just run through completely nude, everything on show, and I was just like, I've seen none of this for the last hour. Why when I click start, why is it that first moment that does that? Like, some people need a filter. Even in real life, some people need a filter. One of my co-workers is one of them. I've managed to filter myself quite a lot from what I was. I assume there are more naked girls in the game running around than guys. Yes. However, as you may imagine, not everyone who is in a female avatar in this game is female, and not everyone who's in a male avatar is. Yeah, the motivations get very questionable. Some motivations are good. Some motivations are bad. The majority lay on the bad side. Although, some of them have good motivations. Not for being in nude avatars, but for being in the opposing avatars, the opposing gender. I just don't get the point. Take your clothes off and look at yourself. I want to see your nakedness. I don't. I absolutely do not. I see, like, there's a much more, like, there's a niceness nature to being partially clothed than there is being completely naked. I wouldn't want to be, but I could kind of be partially. You know, like, I mean, I'd rather be fully clothed, but I don't understand the point, people, of making it a naked female avatar. I just see it every time in the shower. Some people just, you know, want to. People just want to go to horny jail, you know. That's kind of why. There's a lot of, like, questionable avatars, right? There's some I've found of, like, you know, like Nekos and stuff that have, they seem all right on the surface, and then you start digging into the expressions, and you're like, yeah, this really is not the avatar for me. There's some on there where you can, like, start taking the clothes off and stuff, and you're like, okay, absolutely not for me. I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the most tame people ever, because I really do not care for, like, that, you know. I don't know what it is. I must be broken, I guess, because I'm one of the very few. And it doesn't matter what sense it's in. Like, practically any sense doesn't particularly do anything for me. Running around completely naked wouldn't. I can assure you of that. Physical and emotional connection. I'm sure there'd be something. There'd be something out there that'd do it for me. But I'm not gonna go looking for it. I feel fine. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't want to. Because this is what's known as too much of a good thing. And if I fall into that realm of getting too much of a good thing, it could be very detrimental to me. I forge like these very like mental connections in my mind. When I find something new, like very very like pinpointed connection in my mind. It's like you have to hyperfixate on this now, now, now. I'm just like, in order to get physical touching and kissing, for examples. Exactly, that's what I mean. Though it's like there'd probably be something, but to me, at the minute, I wouldn't want to find out because I don't particularly want it. I don't particularly care for it. But whatever does you. Yeah. Some people have got like ways of doing it that way, like the intimacy of it, whereas other people are just like, I need to be like tied up, choked and hit in the face with a yellow pages 5 times before it does anything for me. It's like there's no judging. It's just you do you. It's quite the kink. Or if I've just listed somebody's kink, I greatly apologize. Emotional bonds are important too. Exactly. That's a lot of it. That's where like the like all the asexual like stuff comes from. It's like you're not particularly like sexually interested in someone. That's where a lot of the romantic and like phrases come from, like hetero-romantic, homo-romantic, trans-romantic. That's just one out there. Pan-romantic, aromantic. It's like they go because you can be kind of I don't know. You can be like pan-romantic but asexual. It's like it's just weird. It's weird. I love how you said that though, being hit with the yellow pages. I don't know why people get off being hit with a phone book. Whatever. Hey, there's some weird things out there. If you've ever read up on it, there's some weird. I'm not going to talk about them. There's definitely some like weird stuff going on though. Like I said, no judging. I just think it's a bit strange. But then some people think I'm strange. That's fine. I don't actually. I think you're strange too. Well, thank you. Way to boost my ego. I'm a strange individual. I didn't think I'd say that. I'm a strange individual. I tell you what, I'll own it. I'll own it. I'm a strange, strange individual. Your thoughts on romance and what can I say? You don't need to say anything. It's a it's a whatever does you thing. Whichever way you view it, that's perfectly valid either way. Other than that, though, I think you're alright. Oh, sorry, I'm just a bit weird. Gonna have to go to WA. Weirdos Anonymous. You are younger than I am too. I mean, that's true. I don't have as much like IRL experience, you know? And I've spent my years hiding behind technology and God knows what, right? Maybe you just need to bloom. You shouldn't though. I need to bloom. That's for sure. Behind this is still a very, very immature person who's I want to say scared, but definitely definitely questioning a lot of things. I suppose being trans doesn't really help. I thought I was immature, really questioning how. I'm just I don't know. I have a very weird humor set that definitely isn't the norm. And anyone who I've like kind of shown like what I find really funny to, like they say I'm very immature because I like it. You just need to socialize. I don't like socializing. Ha! Like cartoons. Not really. Hey, look, some of them are right. I don't know. If you have or not, but have you watched any of the Peppa Pigs? Right. I have no word of a lie. Some of those episodes are pure G. Not the whole episodes, but there's some like very small jokes in there that you're like, I can't believe they put that in a kids show, or it's so incredibly stupid. It's funny, and you show it to people, and they're like, why are you laughing at a kids show? Isn't that a computer thing? I'm not often on the. Oh, it might be for you because. All right, so basically airs on TV here. I'm not sure about Canadian television. But here it's an actual show. It gets aired on like one of the big 5 channels. I can't remember which because I watched TV in like 3 years. Because I know someone who is 20 who likes watching. Hey, if you like watching kids shows, you like watching kids shows. I mean, that's your own prerogative. Like, there's a difference between watching kids shows and watching cartoons, animations, animes. The difference. I see a kids show as something like Peppa Pig or like basically anything they put on like CBeebies where it's like supposed to teach kids. Bob the Builder, for instance, right? They admittedly have the brain of a child. They've told me this. To be fair, right? I didn't stop watching like kid shows, right? Like until I was like 12, right? Because that's when I first got my gaming console. And then I was like just completely attached to the gaming console. I don't want to watch TV anymore. And that's the reason. And now I just like I catch it on like a glimpse through. I am walking through the front room and it's there. And I will linger in there and then there'll be something that happens and I'll be like, what? There's no way that can be like real. And lo and behold, it is. That's what my friend does. Games all the time, reads manga at night, watches cartoons. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with watching cartoons in the morning, eating your cereal, right? I'm pretty certain, like, I don't understand why, but they put kids shows on from like 6 a.m. Like, ever since I were at school, I never realized, like, anyone woke up at like 6 a.m. I didn't know any kids who were awake at 6 a.m. to watch cartoons on the channels. But it's like, I don't particularly think that's a good thing to do, to just play games or read manga. But it's your own prerogative if you want to. But I'm just gonna outright say I don't see much in that. Tell us that. If you're 3 or 4, they're up pretty early. Oh, that depends. We got someone at work who like gets barely any sleep. They've said to me they've had like, what was it, over the last like week? They've had like less than 8 hours of sleep because they've not only like stayed up to play like games and stuff because they don't have time, but anytime they have gone to bed early, they've just been woken up by the toddler. So all the more reason, I guess, I don't have one. And I can watch cartoons in peace if I wanted. I wouldn't have to sit down and watch like the cartoons I don't want to watch. I can watch the cartoons I do want to watch. But in all honesty, like some of the cartoons are fantastic. It's like the jokes aren't even like adult jokes. There's one in Peppa Pig where like they're putting the chickens to bed and like, oh yeah, there's like dangerous things that like come round in the night, you know, so like some animals eat in the daytime, like my chickens, and some animals eat at night and then it zooms out and then Mr. Fox is behind the fence and they shine the torch and Mr. Fox, are you just putting your chickens to bed, eh? Grandpa Pig's like very, yes, all nice and cozy, tucked away. And then he's just like, okay then, I'll be on my way. It's like, you don't expect it. Because they don't do those sorts of jokes, but it's that one time they did that joke that makes it all the much more funnier. Just because people don't get your humor doesn't mean you should beat yourself up about it. Nah, they just call me immature for laughing at it. There's like other things in those like shows. There's one where they're stuck on an island and Grandpa Rabbit's like, is anyone missing cheese? They've only been there like 2 minutes. And he's like, I'm gonna draw a line in the sand every time I think about cheese. It just constantly shh, shh. And then when they finally like right at the end, like it's literally only about 2 minutes after that scene because really short cartoons, and then to get like saved on the boat, and that entire island is just like covered in tally marks. You're just like, hi, it's funny. Then there's like Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom. It's like the gnome is so funny in that. He's like, I've wrote a song. Would you like to hear it? And everyone on the screen is like, no. He's, I'll take that as a yes. It's bizarre. It's like my friend said about, shouldn't feel bad about being who you are. Makes you unique. Well, there you go. That's a motto to live by. Don't be ashamed. Just make it yourself. Right? Why be ashamed of being trans? Why be ashamed of liking cartoons? Why be ashamed of liking anime? I'm not saying be like a stereotypical transgender person. I'm not saying be like a lockaway weeb. I'm not saying be a child. I'm saying just embrace it and be like, so what? Does it affect anybody else? Not really. I would never judge you because of who you are as a person or how your life story has led you to this unique. I would never judge. I would never judge you because of you, who you are as a person, or how your life story has led you to where you are. Because you are unique. That hits the heart, that one. You know, if only the whole world could do that, that would be insane. Don't judge. I bring this a lot in my work and stuff. I say to people, you know, given what we do, we get some insider knowledge as to certain things that happen before they happen. And some of those are like people who will be coming and joining. And I usually have to rein into people who haven't like met these people before and say, you can't judge someone off just their name or their qualifications or the job roles they're coming to do. Because that's profiling. And when you profile, it's discriminatory. Because you have no idea what they are, who they are, what they've done, or how they think. So just don't do it because somebody's expectations are going to be hurt otherwise. She ended up getting vaccinated. Nice. Made the call. She decided to do it. Good for her. Yeah, oh, hang on, I missed a lot of your messages. Which is why I'd never judge my friend of not wanting to be vaccinated. Just ugly. People shouldn't feel shame for doing what they want, especially if it's not directly hurting people. But she ended up getting vaccinated anyway. I gave up profiling when I went to sixth form. I did it a lot in high school. And it led me to hate a lot of people. In sixth form, I didn't do it. I've been guilty of profiling people, mostly their mental state. Like, I had a friend, they just drank all the time. I'm thinking, you must be really depressed. Yeah, it's not particularly the best way to think about it like that. Some people are just social drinkers, you know. That's how they socialize. And I mentioned this to them, and they're just like, "Did you just profile me?" Not cool. Exactly. In your brain, you're already like making a picture of someone, and then you've got to be like, "Yeah, hang on. I can't do this because they literally passed out during stream though from drinking." Some people just do it because that's what helps them. You know, you've got to do what helps you feel okay. And some people it's drinking, some people it's cannabis, and it's going into VR with no clothes on. It's like whatever helps you sleep at night. And that's why I assumed they didn't have a good mental state. I wouldn't say, right, don't say they got bad mental state just because they pass out from drinking. I think passing out from drinking is like what everyone who drinks does. I wouldn't instantly jump to that either, like, oh yeah, you must be like super depressed. I can understand that you were concerned, but at the same time, if you worded the conversation as like, I saw you pass out last night, are you depressed? As opposed to, I'm slightly concerned for your well-being. Like, are you doing all right? Do you feel like maybe you need to tone down the drinking a bit? It's like you're not profiling, you're getting them to open up to you then, as opposed to being like, are you depressed? Because here's the thing, a depressed person will never tell you they're depressed. That's just the truth. That's why I don't talk to people. Mostly just stop caring. It's a lot of people, a lot of the way I speak to people is in the wording you give when you speak to them. Say, for example, children. You don't go up to a kid and start being like really forceful with them. Have like a forceful conversation with them. You tend to be very calm, collected, talking to a child, explain things in like very simple methods. You don't go up and start telling them how to do like understanding the theory of relativity to a 4-year-old because they probably won't understand it. I say probably because we don't know. I'd rather not talk to people who get defensive easily. All that means is they've got barriers, right? And when people have barriers, it means that they're very, very protective over themselves. And what your job then is to, I understand you have barriers. If you're willing to, I would like to come in. I would like you to open up to me. The no judge zone. I just want to know what's going on. Yeah? They should go to therapy then. Again, therapy is a double-edged sword. I don't personally, while I have it, I don't think it actually does anything. But again, I can say that, but that's just for me personally. For this other person who might decide, hey, like, this has actually saved my life. And then there's me there, like, this is not helping me. Connect with people and talked about my mental state. Again, I don't know whether it helps. This is the thing. So I'd be pretty open with people. Well, I think you have to be in like therapy, isn't it? I think that's kind of the point of therapy. You don't hide things from a therapist because, I mean, right? You can be as open to them as you want to be, but in the end, if you're like, there's not about hiding things from people either. That's different. It's like, I don't know what like the best example of this is, right? But it's like, there would be an instance where it's much better for the mental state of someone to not tell them the truth. Like, I understand the whole like concept is you tell people the truth, you tell them what's going on, and just say like, we're here for you, we'll help you, we'll look after you, and all that. But in the same instance, like, if you tell someone the truth, it can break them and could destroy their entire life. Like what is the better call there? Like, if your truth is the difference between but you're also not the most talkative either. It's not exactly like you're the most engaging in DMs. I'd rather people truthful and honest with me than lie to me or be fake about it. I'm not sure what you mean. Some people just don't, kind of respond well to stuff. And it's like, well, particularly about your little, like, excavate onto me there. There's like an air of it. I don't think people who are like straight to the point, are like super engaged into DMs are always truthful or like fake about it. when they're really like short and like reflected about it, you know. Me, that's down to how someone else would like treat someone, you know. Like like let's put it this way, right? The fact of the matter is, right, if I was like, I'm feeling great, you know, blah blah blah. Let's say I sent you that, right? And then no, let's actually say that I sent you, I'm feeling terrible, right? I feel awful, whatever. And then I came on here and I'm like, I feel great. I'm super happy. It's like, then I'm blatantly lying to you, right? If I said, hey, look, I'm all right. I had a bit of a downturn. I'm feeling much better. I'm ready to go. Yeah. It's like, it might sound fake. Trust me. That's just the way some people like are in messages. It's hard to convey emotion in messages without sounding fake. I don't get the whole like, yes, queen, you go do that. Yeah. Like, it's difficult to really convey what you want, convey in a message, than it is to actually speak it. So I don't think you can detect like, I don't think you can detect fake in a message because everyone puts a message through differently. I don't talk with people, so I don't know. Like I said, I want everyone to get nuked. I wouldn't put it that. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. There are some good people out there. Like I said, that was the like kind of thought process I had in high school. It's not a great process to have. What to think or go through. People mostly just make me anthropic. Misanthropic? What's that word? I do think your job holds a lot to do with that. That is like of people hitting human beings. Eat the bones of flesh. I knew there was a word for it. I haven't seen the subreddit in a long time though. Honestly, if you want a bad time, go to that subreddit. You're gonna have you're gonna have an awful time on it because it's just full of depressing news. There is some that you should just completely like stray away from. Disliking humankind and avoiding human society. I feel like I'm pro people. Well, here's the thing: I'm not pro people, right? But I can see when there's good people. But I can't say that I hate human beings. even though I used to, right? Because there's good people, and then there's bad people, and then there's the people you don't hear about, the people who don't even know what they're doing. You have no idea what's going on in the world. All you hear about is the sometimes extremely good, and sometimes they're just downright awful. And if you focus your entire life around the downright awful, obviously you're going to have like a bad like thought process about people. Your interactions with people might be negative your whole childhood, right? That doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. But everyone could. Nah, I don't. Oh, hang on. I'd rather just spend time with my cat. At least my cats don't spew. I don't believe that. For every one good person, you meant there's like 30,000 people that are just bad, greedy scumbags. I mean, look, right? There's bad in the world, right? I'm not trying to say there isn't. But it's easier for people to be bad than it is for people to be good, right? Because if you put it in an ad, in like a way of saying, look, I can be good or I can be bad, right? Imagine this is the scales, right? And it's like, if you're good, you get like the satisfaction of doing good. You know, like scales kind of balance this way, right? You get like the satisfaction of good. And then you have this one, which is scales are bad, right? Actually, to be this way, you have the scales that are good, not down here, right? Just ever so slightly. Satisfaction of doing good and being helpful and things like that. You hardly ever get reward. Now look at what you get for being bad. Rob a bank, get money. If you steal from someone, you get all their possessions. If you commit a burglary, you do exactly the same, right? If you kill somebody, you get like, at least here, you get like free accommodation. You get a free PS5 console. You get like all these extra benefits, and it's like you kind of see the imbalance. There's no wonder people are bad, right? You do somebody over, you get promoted, they don't. You know, it's like those sorts of things. It's too hard to find good people. So it's easy to go by a just like I only care about myself mantra. Looking for good people is honestly it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. I think like you'll find people if you try and surround yourself in like 2 or 3 good people, right? Spend that time, spend that energy surrounding yourself with 2 to 3 good people, right? Join that friend group. Get that friend group together. 2 to 3 good people all around each other. Boom, 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 right? More good people would follow that because they'd see like a positive energy flow of that friend group. It doesn't mean that I'd just rather be alone with my boyfriend. like I said, that's your own prerogative. If that's what you're happy being. But you've already found a good person there. This doesn't make me feel shit. I mean, I can't argue with you there. Look, the world it's always gonna have bad. It's also got good. Gotta seek the good out. And once your world gets surrounded more in good, the rest follows. Don't just take like one incident to be like the gospel of everything else. This surely can't be royalty free. All people do is make me feel terrible. They're the main reason why I want to leave the planet. Why base your life around like what other people think? If someone says something bad about you, just say like, I don't know, follow this mentality, follow the mentality up. Anything you throw at me, I will throw it back at you 2 times harder. What harm can they do? As soon as they hurt you, the law system is in your gripes. Right? So start whatever you want. Right? Don't make you feel like crap. Just say like, look, if you start dishing stuff like that at me, I'll just dish it straight back. I don't care what you say. At that point, if someone's going to start harassing you and making you feel like awful, just dish their own medicine back at them. Because they'll soon stop. And if they don't stop, or things get like haywire, there's systems in place to deal with it. I feel like that a lot of the time though. Hey, so do I. Don't we all feel like bad times? Gotta look on the positive though. You don't know, they make psychiatrists, medics, and therapists. Not all of them were the same. Yeah, that goes for everything. Psychiatrists, therapists, medication, they all work differently. It's about finding the right one. The one that clicks with you. Well, it's like I said, mine doesn't really do anything for me. The only reason I go is because it gives other people clarity on my mental well-being. A lot of the family suffer from depression. With things like that, I think that'd be a point where you like kind of speak to the doctor and be like, look, a lot of the family suffer with it is there anything I can like take to alleviate it, or stop it coming, or anything like that? And no, you're not. You're absolutely not. There's ways people can help. There's always a solution. Cliche as that sounds. I've been like this for over a decade. Just because it's been a decade doesn't mean there isn't. Medicine's always evolving. Science is always evolving. Same way humans are always evolving. There is always a solution. Even if for the time being it's makeshift, there is a solution. You're more optimistic than I am. I've been brought up. I think my breakdown had like a lot to do with how I view when I properly broke down. Because before that I was like an absolute pile of garbage. And I felt awful. I thought about everything awful. I had like the worst mental state I've ever seen a person in. And then after it I felt much better. Because I just changed the way I thought. Changed what I did. Changed the way I viewed things, and it helped a bit. Definitely not in a messed up state of mind. The only thing I have is family, and other people make me feel terrible. Well, I can sympathize with kind of what you said. People make you feel terrible. What is it specifically about people that make you feel terrible? We can pinpoint exactly what it is about them. And maybe we can understand it. I know you said about like them being fake and like but when people are fake, it's like most of the time you can tell. I don't know if they're fake or real. Sometimes situations make me depressing. All of it. Okay, so what if, on one instance, right, you gave someone the benefit of the doubt. Let's say you didn't know they were being real, fake. Let's say you give them the benefit of the doubt, and you help them out with something. And that one time that you choose to help them out with, whatever it was they were doing, it was a genuine thing that practically saved their life. Right? Because I know what your mind would have instantly jumped to. Your mind would have gone, why would I help a person that could be scamming me? Yeah. Like, you do have to use the better judgment sometimes. Take the person's history, for example. You know the person's history, but like, that's why Facebook is in its prime at the moment. That's why Facebook is so amazing. If you know somebody's name, you can find out everything else about them. Where they work, where they're from, when they were born. I said it's such a clever tool if you use it properly. Most people avoid me like I'm the plague anyway. I'm not bothering with people. The thing about not bothering with people, I want to socialize. I want socialization too. So I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Yeah, Facebook makes you depressed. I know that firsthand. But what if you just use Facebook for those research purposes? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like, let's say I was messaged by somebody I went to school with, and obviously they were trying to, like, the old trick of come and work for this, be your own boss, middle level management, pyramid scheme, whatever, right? And I wanted to research exactly what they did. Facebook is literally the best place for it. Or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is another good one if you want to get any information about anyone, because most people leave their profiles public because obviously work thing. You can find out information about practically anyone through Facebook and LinkedIn. We found out someone was scamming off work the other day through Facebook. By literally, oh, they're not in work. Let's just check the Facebook. I can't be bothered with work today. I'm just going to call in sick. Alright, so you're lying to get off work. Well done. I don't need to be reminded that my foot. All that is cause drama. I'm not about the drama life. I can sympathize with that. And that stuff seems stalkerish too. It's only stalkerish if you use it. I don't know. I think if you're using it for your own research, like kind of figure out, like, is this person being genuine? Is this person not being genuine? Is this person trying to pull me into a scam? I don't think that's stalkerish. I think when you start looking at people's information to send them gifts, send them things like that blue, and you're like trying to do it to like try and find them and try and like track them down and stuff. It's like, okay, that's kind of stalkerish. I don't think doing it for like trying to protect yourself is stalker related. I don't think that at all. But we all have standards. Maybe mine are just a lot lower than yours. Probably not. It's a big no from me. Maybe I already have. Maybe they don't know. This is crazy because here's the thing. A lot of it is freely accessible anyway. It's not like I go digging hard for this information. You can click on someone's profile and find this all out. It's like, it's not hard. The fact that it's on there is the fact that they put it up, so they're giving away that information anyway. Yeah. Especially when, like, that sort of thing. If you didn't know, what we did last week, that guy, is practically what the HR department does. They will hunt down your social media, and they will look for things that day. Like, why is this person off? They will look the night before. Did they go drinking? Did they do this? Did they do that? And you know what? It's not illegal. Is it bad that they do that? Yeah, because I'd like to give the employees the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they are actually genuinely ill. Like, if I phoned in ill, they'd have no reason to do that because I've never had a sick day yet. Whereas if someone was like ill every Monday, maybe then, hey, look, hang on, there's a pattern occurring here. You need to be very selective about how you use it. But people put trust in you. Doing that kind of thing invalidates trust. It depends how you use that information. If you start using it for blackmailing, then it starts to invalidate that trust. Like I said, doing it to protect your own back is not too bad at all. Besides, I might want to clarify something. I didn't look this up. Okay. It just so happens someone who works with us has that specific person as a friend on Facebook. Okay. I didn't specifically say, let's go and look up this person's Facebook profile, but if someone said, hey, do you want to come and work for this multi-level program? It's like, right, I'm going to look at what like business you run. Because if your business is like minimal and has like barely any like social structure, it's like, why would I come and work for you? Because there's barely any like, why would I? Why would I give up my okay paying job? Come and work for your startup. If you want to know things, just ask me. I don't trust people, but I don't trust people enough to dig into their private information. Again, like I said, this information is not private. That's the beauty of Facebook. That's the beauty of LinkedIn. Everything on those sites, the people have put up for themselves. And their profiles are public. You share as much as you want on those social media sites, but the second you post it, that's it. That information is there for the world to see. Once you post it, that information is not private information anymore. It's public information. Which is why I don't see anything wrong with doing what I did. Right? If I do that, I don't feel bad about it because me, if someone's putting that information out there, they're giving me that information. Simple as that. I can see where you're coming from with the whole, it's a bit suspect. But that's the beauty of morals, right? What you might find morally wrong, I might find okay. What I find morally wrong, you might find okay. Right? That's opinions. I personally don't agree with it. You do your research, is the thing, right? Like I said, it's. I would hardly expect anyone to ever find me. Because everything I have is privatized, pretty much. I wouldn't tell anyone, hey, if you want to go and look at my LinkedIn page, here it is. Go to Raunchy Bulldozer 26 on LinkedIn, and you can look at my entire work history. I'm just ask the people. Yeah, but sometimes people lie to you. Like, let's use the situation of the pyramid scheme again, right? There's no way someone messages you and say, hey, you want to come and work for me? And you say, I don't know, does your business do all right? They're not going to tell the truth and say, no, it's actually in a shambles. This is just a scam. You know, that's something you've got to figure out. The only way you figure it out is by saying, right, I'm going to research this company. Where's the best place to start? I don't know, maybe the person's Facebook profile where they added a page for their company and posted nothing on it. All right, that's suspect already. Go to the website. The website's under construction. How long's it been under construction for? 2 years? Ah, it's a scam. Why not ask them where they work? I don't do anything on the internet. I literally apply for jobs in real life. The name. There's a level, right? You need like a level of trust with people. And unfortunately, some people cannot be trusted. Usually this is like people who like will message you out the blue. Hey, you want a job? Now, while it is mostly a pyramid scheme, and most of the time it is a pyramid scheme, sometimes it's alright. Sometimes it is genuinely someone saying, hey, look, do you want a job? Because I know where one is going and I might be able to get it for you. Usually that comes from people who are like kind of close to you, kind of talk to you on a regular basis. It's like they've been told and then they message you through Facebook and whatever. How my PS work? There's a building I go to, the Health Sea. I get paid for it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with doing that, like if you're in situations where I am, where I can't like really travel far, just apply for jobs like in the area and stuff. But to me, I feel like a lot of people are moving online these days, and IRL job listings are going down because they reach a wider audience and they're looking for people who are more like qualified in specific fields. But it's like the place I work now, right? When I got my job 2 years ago, I would not expect these days, if I was still like not there, I would not expect the recruitment method that I got from there, which was literally an email that said, hey, I see you're currently working here. Would you like to work for us? Which then leads to like researching the company and stuff. I was like, this is weird. Like, sure. And I went for the interview, and lo and behold, it was actually a genuine company. I don't bother with people because that kind of thing just seems like a lot of effort. It's easier just not to deal with them. Even searching people up is too much energy. It's a waste of my energy. Well, look, it's just a precautionary measure. That's all. If you're going to take it, like, you've got to consider it. This is the thing. If you look at it and you consider it, then be prepared to put that energy in to do that research. It's like going for a job interview. You don't go for a job interview and not research the company before. Avoidance is easier in general. It is easier in general, but life isn't that easy, is it? You can't avoid a job. Well, to have a good quality of life, you can't avoid a job. I think that's kind of the thing, isn't it? I just assume everyone hates me. I don't bother with it. Or I wouldn't. It's hard to say don't because you make a valid point, right? But the truth of the matter is, like, you say you don't mind your job, but your job is working with people. And then I wouldn't say, look, assume everyone hates you from the onset, because that's not a good way of, kind of thinking about it. You're definitely setting yourself up for some, like, bad thoughts there. That's actually why I get hurt so badly by people. You like caring for them. Especially in, like, your line of work and stuff where you have, like, people around you 24/7. Stuff just makes you think, like, and obviously, like, these are people who, like, are really stressed out themselves because they can't really do anything for themselves. It's like they're obviously very stressed, and because they're very stressed, they can't. They let it out on you, and that obviously makes you very stressed. The best thing to remember with that is that these people don't actually mean what they say, right? I'm very empathetic, so empathetic to agree it's a negative thing. So I try my hardest to shut down. I get if I get to know people in general, it becomes a negative thing. It's not a negative thing. It's a human thing. Because then I overthink and overanalyze. Well, not as easy as it sounds, but don't. It's to the point that everything revolves around them hating me. The person doesn't want to talk to me, they probably hate me. No, that person has other things going on in their life, right? That person doesn't revolve around you. They revolve around their own story and their own prerogative. In their story, you are a side character. In your story, they are a side character. two worlds might collide, but it doesn't mean that it's like we must always communicate, must always speak with each other. My mind doesn't work that way. Well, think of it this way then. Was that person thinking of you before? Let's say you meet the first time. Was that person thinking, I like Tiff. I think Tiff's a great person. You know? And then they meet you, and then they're like, I don't like Tiff. I don't think she's a good person. Right? That's how your mind processes it. But what if it's just, Tiff's alright. You're a nice person. Like, that's how it is for a lot of people. They're just like, oh yeah, they're pretty nice. And then never speak to them again. Like, I know your mind doesn't think that way, but it's like, you don't speak to everyone every day, right? Only when you need to. When you want to, like, kind of see if someone wants to talk to you, you need to reach out to them. So when you say like your self-worth revolves around these people, it's worth contacting these people if they want to chat with you. You know? Which is like the best way I can put it, because my mind is just as bad, but I like to give people the benefit of the doubt in saying, look, I want to be friendly with you. I want to be like a good person around you. Which means I want you to like me. And if you don't like me, I'd rather you tell me than hide it, because then I can get to understand why you don't like me. Because then that's something I can possibly work on. If I come across very arrogant, right, might be like, that's something I can work on. Maybe I can work on like my delivery of like sentences and things, and stop myself coming along as arrogant and being much more like positive, being much more like caring. It doesn't all just revolve around like, oh, this person hates me straight off. Like, I actually want to like kind of figure out why. Like, what would be the reasoning for someone to hate me? Because then if that's my fault, I can work on it. If it's a them problem, then I kind of figure out, right, well, there's obviously something you don't like about me. I can't fix it. That's a you problem. And if you're not willing to fix it, then we can't do anything about it. That's why I don't like streaming. All it does is validate my own thoughts that people don't like me. Don't worry about numbers. Hide it. Hide it completely. Right now, I don't know how many people are here. I don't know how many people are watching. I don't know how many people. For the first 30 minutes, there could have been nobody here. Don't let that affect you at all. I'm gonna tell you 2 facts about that. Right? First off, it doesn't matter. Those first 30 minutes that I was here, there was no chat. There was nothing. I was just running around doing some weird shenanigans. Then we went to the ball pit. This entire time, I don't know how many people could be there. There could be 10, there could be 1, there could be 1,000. It wouldn't change anything. Why would I change what I do depending on the view count? Like, it doesn't matter how many people. Do this to put yourself out there and reach people. And it doesn't really matter if those people chat or not. It's more a case of want those people to enjoy what they're watching. That's why I stream though, to meet people. That's why I love boyfriend. At least it makes me feel appreciated. Normal people. The best way to meet people, right? And I'm gonna be kind of forefront here, is Twitter. Twitter is kind of amazing for that, and getting to like connect and chat to people. As much as you might not like social media, try and find circles of people who have like similar interests. I know you like the old like Donkey Kong Country games and all the old retro games, the SNES games, old games like Lion King, things like that. There'll be communities of people on Twitter that have the same interests. And there'll be like streamers and stuff, or like other people who'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna play like Donkey Kong Country 2? Are you gonna stream it? I'll come by your stream. I'll come and watch." Like, Twitter's the best way for that, and it builds your audience. And then they say, "Hey, look, this person called Tiff is streaming Donkey Kong Country 2. Come along, come and have a look." It's about like branching people out and being, "Oh yeah, this person is making a good like attempt. Let me stick around. Let me see what they do." Then they see you, they talk, they see you like interact with them. And they're like, "I like this person. I really like this person. Follow." Hard to me who's who to begin with. I know the talking is difficult, and I don't think anything will ever change that. Because it's like anything else, like a lot of the time you're scared of saying the wrong thing. right? And be scared of clashing heads or something. In the day, don't be. Like, I understand that it's difficult to be sociable. You just got to be prepared, yes. Because I'm not going to say that it's not a mental strain when you first do it. It 100% is. But once you do it once, twice maybe, it really isn't that bad. Because in the day, who cares? You speak in real life. What difference does the internet make? It's easy to just not people. Even chatting like this is a mental strain for me. It's actually exhausting, if I'm going to be honest. Just do a straight chatting is tough. If you were to do this, right, and even the way you're doing it now, the reverse, I can understand. I can sympathize. That's because we're focusing on you. And when this is something you feel feely about, obviously it's going to have more impact than a completely different subject. Even in general, just that those streams are going to where I talk about Pokemon, it tires me out. Okay, well, kind of. Because my brain isn't quick enough for like this sort of thing. Well, it's just like real life, right? It's like it's trying to hold a conversation in real life. You can do it for a short while, and then your brain decides, yeah, you know what? I've kind of had enough. I'm gonna run off for a bit. And then obviously you're left to yourself then, and you start getting exhausted because you're like, this is so tiring. I know what you mean. Just I want to socialize, no winning from a social perspective. I'm used to lying in bed feeling miserable about most. If you're feeling miserable most days, no, you're not. Are you eating well? Like, are you getting nutrients you need? Are you making sure you're getting enough like vitamins, iron, things like that? Healthy diet is like a core thing to feeling well. And enough sleep, making sure you're getting enough sleep can help you a lot as well. Because when you tell me about your socialization problems and that it's tiring to you and things like that, it makes me think that this isn't a socialization issue. It makes me more think that it's a like a self-image issue. Like you say, you say you get like very validating from the boyfriend, right? And that you don't really want to give anyone else the time because you don't really want to socialize with them because of how you think they'll perceive you. Which all I can say is it does not matter what anyone else thinks of you. It's what you think of me. That's what matters. And of course, you're not going to have the greatest mental state of how are other people going to see me when you think of it like I'm not a great person. You are. Maybe I don't mind how I look though. No. It's like a more of a mental image of yourself. Like a how you feel about yourself. Not more of like a oh I look like a trash bag, like not that kind of sense. Like a more like a I I can't physically like not physically but like mentally. Like it's like a mental thing. One that is an actual physical like thing. I don't think that I'm a good person you talk to. I'm boring. Hear about that? Well, look, you have interests that there's definitely people out there that have the similar interests. About finding people with similar interests, like I said before. You like RuneScape. There's lots of other people that like RuneScape. You can talk to people about RuneScape. That doesn't make you boring. You like wood carving. There's bound to be a community of wood carvers who would be more than happy to talk to you. That's sweet though. I don't like talking, even in game though. I'm picky with who I talk to. I'm very picky when it comes to talking with people. Oh, I don't think there's anything I can really say that would alleviate that. When it's your choice to not do that, then there's not much I can say that would change it. RuneScape, I don't feel comfortable talking with boys. RuneScape is mostly male populated. Well, I mean yeah, I can't argue with the facts, can I? That's definitely 100% that's true. I have gender preference. I'm not kind of biased, I think. Like, look, not all men are sex crave perverts who like just look to like objectify you. Some of them are genuine. Not to say there aren't like those sex crave perverts. I wouldn't lock off like a good portion of the gender spectrum for. I like talking to boys because it is way more judgment than, like you said. Women in general are more sweet, kind, and caring. Well, to that I say, it's very stereotypical of genders, and all the more reason we should break this barrier that men have to be tough macho guys, and they should open up more. Because if they start doing that, maybe we could get some understanding as to why, right? Like, again, don't think that all guys are like, ha ha ha, why don't you take your underpants off? It's like, no. Like, you have your boundaries. Like, just, you've got to set them like that. For example, I was stressed out about COVID and talked about it, and my friend gave me advice to take a certain medication and to not stress myself out because it'll lower my immune system. Like a medication for my family to boost her immune. Let me read that one more time. I was stressed out about COVID and talked about it. My friend gave me advice to take a certain medication and to not stress myself out because it will lower my immune system. Like a medication for my family to boost their immune system. If I told a guy this, yes. So. All right. So if you take the medication, or like your family takes the medication, I don't brains. Okay, I've got you. So it's for you and the family. So basically, they were saying like, don't stress out, don't take that, and stop stressing yourself over it. Not that the medication will have adverse effects, right? You show caring and empathy. Well, when I mentioned transgender, who's more accepting? Yeah, that's a statistical fact, alright. I'm not going to argue with you there. But I do disagree with you on the facts that a guy would say that sucks and wouldn't like say, hey, you want help? This help? Like, will this not help? Like I said, I have people at work offering like advice on like hey, like you have social anxiety, right? You know, you're anxious like 24/7. You know what you need? Have a bit of this. Like, well, thank you, but I don't feel like taking cannabis oil. I'm alright, thank you. It's like, they didn't just instantly say, well, that sucks. And that right there is like a full-fledged alpha male, right? You also talk to most people. I literally don't talk to people. I lie in bed for 6 hours contemplating existence. You might think I talk to more people. I don't, actually. I am very lucky if I talk to 3 people a day. And if I do, it's the same 3 people. Talk to them frequently, though. I do days where I'm not talking to people weeks at a time. How do you, like, do that for your job? Like, unless you mean, like, having, like, a sort of, like, sensible conversation with them. Yeah? I use one word sentences. That's fair enough.
Isn't about appeasing the crowd. Rather, it's about tending to the broken parts inside of ourselves. We create things as a reflection of this struggle.
Go stop with.
To study our perception of self.
Why would I talk to people if it tires me out?
Necessarily a thing you achieve.
No, I just kind of thought that'd be something you'd need for your job. That's all.
Mind which you constantly strive toward. This all comes from an understanding that ideas aren't static, but fluid, like water. Be like water.
I wish I was a mute. I think like the life of a mute would be quite tedious. Because even if you were mute, like look, you are severely limiting your options and talk to. Not a lot of people would be learning to Braille, right? Not a lot of, well, don't really communicate in Braille, but not a lot of people would learn sign language. Not a lot of people would want to communicate through just like written text. You know, it's like you're definitely limiting the amount of people you're reaching there. Not for you. If you think you can handle that, then by all means. Like maybe that's like a better way for you to like outwardly communicate. Maybe that's like a better way for you to like outwardly socialize, you know? Hard to talk to people. After the stream, I'm probably gonna crash out like I typically do after chatting. I'm gonna have to end very soon, actually. I'm just like, I'm kind of like, thinking now about like how it is to talk to people and things, and I'm just like, oh, because yeah, it's a waste of energy sometimes and all that, but sometimes it's a necessary evil, and you have to do it sometimes. Can't always turn around and avoid it, right? Part of the reason why I love gives me space and his understanding and his patience. We're not snuggling over each other constantly. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, right? I'm not a fan of these like lovey-dovey relationships. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm not a fan of that. I prefer like what I would classify as like these genuine like relationships. Like, yeah, there are moments of like I love you, but at the same time, there's like that air of what are you doing today? I'm doing this. Oh, you have fun. You got to like have to give your other half space. Because I've been in relationships where people are like that constantly, and it's ended because I was suffocated. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know how anyone can put up with that. That just feels like feels like too much, to be honest. Like, if I was in a relationship, I would want time to myself, ever the heck I wanted, and not feel blocked or stopped or blocked by anything. A good example of this is one that I saw on Twitter today, which was like, where someone's boyfriend said like, I shouldn't stream today because he wants me to spend time with him. To which the answer is, no, you have my time. I want time to do stuff to myself, and that is an indicator that maybe you should kind of look into like, can't do this. We need to show you why you can't do it. I get that though. We have days like that too. It's just not constant. I guess that's a lot of it, isn't it? It's like, there's understanding when it's like a one-off, but at the same time, you've got to understand, hey, guess what? you're always gonna have ups and downs. That's just the law of humankind is insanely bizarre. Bear with me while I found the wall. Ah. That's what it's like to be drunk. Days where you just spend time together. You sort of have to keep the relationship healthy. Exactly. You get as much out of a relationship as you put in. And I think that's the rule. But you can't say you're in a relationship and talk to the person once a month. But where is the relationship there? You've got to really think about it and understand that you're going into something that really is much more than just, oh look, I have a girlfriend now, I have a wife now. Like, it's more than that, right? You can't just flaunt the labels, because what might be a joke to you can't be real to someone else. If you're not 100% serious about it, you shouldn't do it anyway. Now there's some truth. I was never hanging out, so like every once in a while. How about day nights? See? That's adorable. Spend the night alone, each other, no in the company, no one else. The whole night to yourselves. Get to know each other. Know what they do more. More of what they already know. What you already know. Find out what they have added to that. What they've changed. Well, look, with people, you definitely do draw a certain, like, threshold. Certain people. There are certain people I will tell certain things to and not to. A lot of things to do with people from levels of trust, because you obviously trust your boyfriend. But do you trust your other friend? Do you trust friend's sister? You know, to tell them that stuff. To tell them things. To believe they're actually good human beings. Gave me fries that was cooked in the oven. Hey, those like oven cooked fries are great. Look terrible. Have a fryer. Oven cooking is a healthy way. To healthiest way you can find outside of an air fryer. And to be fair, I don't even think air fryers are healthy. Makes me happy. See, that's all you need in life. You need those like boosts of happiness to keep you going through. Don't be put down by everything going on. Bask in those happy little moments you get. The more and more you sit thinking about those bad moments, more and more they just pile up and sit on you. Let them go and think about all these happy moments you're having and let them build. I'd rather be overjoyed with happy moments, moments of angst, hate, and despair. Where do I get my happy boost? That's a good question. Very good question. Definitely not Twitter. Being really mad at it sometimes. Also, the song playing now is so like so perfectly timed. I don't know. Twitter's just like a place I can. It's not the fact that Twitter makes me mad. It's a place I can. What makes me happy? I couldn't tell you, to be quite honest. There's only one thing that I can tell that makes me happy. And that's me dog. I like my dog. I love it. Makes me happy. It goes with me. Makes me feel wanted. Love it to bits. Makes me happy. I would say the satisfaction, a good day work, but that does sound very cliche and is most of the time not true. I don't draw happiness from things. I have a positive outlook. If someone says, um, what makes you happy, it's like, I can't really answer it because at everything. If you're happy, sure, that doesn't mean you can't like fall into like this, fall into the steeps. I feel like trash. I'm not going to do anything. I am sit back and be like, yeah, let's read a lot of trash posts on Twitter. But those are negative days. That's the days your brain just completely shuts off and left like do. Got to be positive when, well, yeah. To be honest, but sometimes that push through is what can really help you. But it's important to make sure that you're not bottling all those like hard emotions up. It'll crash on you, and you'll feel off. Feel that happen. What's dumb tip? What's stupid? Feel guilty about feeling bad. Why do you feel guilty? Because you have like everything well off? Is that like the reasoning? Like, you know, people have it so much worse. Well, look, everyone has bad. Levels of bad. Um, can't say like your bad is equivalent to someone living in poverty. There are levels of bad, right? And some of them you just can't control. Don't idealize it as like, oh yeah, hashtag first world problems. Just idealize it as, look, feel bad. But I can back if there are people who deal with worse than me at this point, then there has to be a way forward. Like, you don't need to feel guilty. You know, just feel bad about complaining too, because unfortunately, I pass well and I have a boyfriend. It makes me feel selfish. Why is it selfish? It's not selfish. I wouldn't see it as selfish. Like, you said you pass. Just living your life like anyone else. It doesn't make any difference that you like transition or you pass or like makes no difference. Person. I have a hard time. A rough patch. We'll pass. Okay? might have a hard time, but that's temporary. It makes me feel bad. Well, it just shows you have a conscience. It's hard for a lot of people. Even this category. I speak with trans people. They're like, I live my life in VR because I can be the girl I want to be. Well, that's just the beauty of VR chat, isn't it? You can be whatever you want, and no one can tell you otherwise. Unless, of course, you're one of these delinquents that runs around in naked avatars. Nah, VR chat's pretty fine in most cases. I've never seen anything particularly bad on here. I've seen one where the avatar was bugged and sometimes would lose its claws, but other than that, I've not seen anything bad. Point is, I don't have to hide away. Well, look, I think in some situations, other people don't. Like, I watch a streamer who is admittedly the other way around, is a female to male, but identifies as a femboy, right? Now, they don't hide who they are and who exactly they are on here. Exactly what they're like outside. They don't hide anything. Like, they don't hide away from anything. They don't say to people, look, I'm actually female. They admittedly just go, I am a guy. It's like the category might be rampant with people who are like, yeah, I gotta tell people I'm a guy, but I'm actually. It's like, I tell people I'm female. And surprisingly, given, hey, I'm very surprised that we don't backlash, but it's really, really overdrawn. And at this point, it's just the health system that fails us. You know, until like LGBT Alliance decides, hey, look, we're going to take another stab at you. Or J.K. Rowling, like she did earlier today, trying to claim that people doxed her. Yeah, that didn't happen. Even in the body, I want that. Some don't have the luxury to use it to be in the body they want to be. Exactly. I mean, look, if I said I look like this, I'd be lying, right? As Casey says, I do want the red hair. I absolutely do want the red hair. But I will never be 5'4". I will never be that short. There's no way of changing that. And by general standards, I'm a very tall girl. I'm 5'11". Well, look, you have nothing guilty to feel. You don't need to feel guilty over that, right? Everyone's different. And the most common thing around like trans like people is that they don't judge other people because they know how hard it is on like themselves. Don't think, oh look, I have to be jealous. I need to hide like the fact that I've transitioned so well because they'd be super jealous of. No, if these people actually like cared for the like like trans community, if they actually like care at all about the people they're talking to, they won't care about that. They won't be jealous over it. They'll be like, yeah, you look amazing. 5'6", 5'7", and told them, Mum, but shut them aunt. Right. Guess that's what I. Yeah, don't worry what. If you come across anyone in the trans community like that, then they're a very kind of toxic person in that community. It's well and good of them like, joke about, oh, this is the body I want, but this is the body I've got. It's like that's understandable. That's a joke. But when someone like to have said, like, no, you've got to kind of read the mood, yes, because sometimes something I've noticed who people I've spoken to is that some of them can joke and be very clever about it and like literally just mean it as a joke, but they know how to read the room, be like, this is an acceptable joke to tell against this is not an acceptable tell. Like, got to read the room like that and be like, this is appropriate, this isn't. Especially with like the trans stuff, got to, well, that especially, you've got to be very careful about like first off when you tell it, and second off who you tell it to, because luckily, even though I don't particularly find stuff funny, I'm not going to like ban someone over a stupid joke. I don't think bans do any good, right? I've joked about this before, like I said, but never in front of trans people. Mostly cisgender females. I mean, like that, you're digging at yourself there, basically. You just need to make sure you're not painting a bad picture on like trans people in general, because a lot of it comes from the people you know, and it's like if you joke about one thing to some people, they might have a laugh, and then they'll try and joke about it to another trans person, and be like, "How dare you?" Yeah. Like, when you're this is why it's a huge stress on me, right? Because I'm the first person like this in the workplace, right? The place where I work, there's never been anyone like this, which means I have to set a good precedent for people and saying, look, this is what we expect. We expect basic human rights, and we expect you to treat us like anyone else, right? But I can't go around making jokes like that, because then that becomes the precedent, right? So if anyone else like me turns up who is trans and then decides, you know, I'm gonna do this to people, and that then becomes, oh yeah, so this is the standard. Like we can joke about like all this weird stuff. Like there's a precedent, and that precedent needs to be made, especially when it's like the first time someone. That's what I really get about someone's jokes. Exactly, but there's some people that get very offended by it. Like I'll just use the instance of like, me. I I I don't like the idea of some of the stuff that gets said, well, was getting said before I said something. Because while it wasn't malicious in any way, it was taking a dig. And I thought, right, this can't stand. So I didn't want to like go to HR for it, because obviously like we've got an Equalities Act, which would basically mean this is discrimination and it would be dealt with, and then I'd look like an idiot to the rest of that team. I just took them to one side, just explained like, look, I'm trans and I find it very offensive. And it's never been said since. Like they genuinely like understand. Like you deal with it in the right ways. It's like the right way at that point was to just straight tell them rather than go under a report, because if I reported them, they'd hate me for the rest of the time. I get that. I get that you're comfortable. I get that you're comfortable, like, in who you are and things. I'm just saying sometimes if it's someone's first instant, like, I'm not talking about you with your friends, because obviously your friends already know. But I'm saying like in any new instant, like with somebody new. I know you don't socialize much, but with somebody new, you need to make sure there's a precedent set to say, this is what's okay, and this is what I'm okay with. You can't kind of just push this to this, right? Because if this moves into this then goes to somebody else. And then this person's mindset, which is now this, is the first thing that comes to people. So then they do this, they give this to this, and then they're like, then this person's like, you are so offensive. It's like there's a tolerance level, and it's better to be on the safe side of. People will talk about this, but then you can talk about, like, you can joke about whatever you want with me, but don't joke about it with other people. I've seen people flip that of the term you guys, yo dude. People are too sensitive. Look, I don't have any issue with, like, at work, a lot of them say, you guys. Or a common one here is, you alright, mate? Like, I don't get offended over that. But people do. And I don't know why. I've seen cis females say, right, mate. I think it's just because it's a common thing for guys to do. Or female. Like, like trans, feminine people kind of feel more female. They don't want to walk around and be like, hi, mate. It's like they want to, do like the whole, like, whole shebang. Whoa, where are we off to? That's it. I figure it's a woman are cool yet. We should be too. But if you don't females flip out, cold dude. Well, this is it. It's like a tolerance thing, isn't it? And in a day, I'm cold dude, and I don't care. And look, if I got like when eventually like all the paperwork was through and stuff, I'm eventually like completely like on paper, see her, all that. It's like I'm still not gonna flip out of someone. It's interchangeable. It's like, yeah, don't call me like bro or whatever. It depends. It completely depends on the context. Because if someone called me bro, it depends how they're calling me bro. Call me bro because like, you know, it's the context. Because here that's like slang. Like you're right, bruv. That's why I don't get offended by it. Exactly. Some people are. Some people are really lax about it, and some people are like, no, you must refer me as madame. No, it's like, now you're just coming over as like really, really arrogant. Like, I think there's a nice middle ground. Like, literally, do not call me anything masculine, and you'll be fine. But then, like, you know, like, brav and dude and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, they sound masculine, but can be used androgynously. Used for both. So there's no real issue. It's like I don't look like a boy. I don't even take it seriously. Exactly, that's the best way to do it because you're not getting angry over it. There's no point because nobody's gonna change their like the way they speak just for you. You know. I'm lucky. I was brought up to speak proper, which means I don't come out with you know, like bro, dude, things like that. I was always taught to refer to people properly and to refer to people by their names. Which means I don't use these slang terms. So I don't really have the issues referring to other people with those slang terms as much as getting that slang from back at me. Like I said to my friend, if I look more masculine, I might be more offended. Yeah, depends how you take it. Definitely at the moment, like, well, even now, like, I don't really care. I do get a bit mad when people don't care, but at this point, I don't think I can really force it because there's no name change and there's no paperwork going through it. Not really. Not yet, anyway. I've had it all done since 18. Well, here's the fun fact about like the UK, right? Our name changes and depots and stuff like that, completely free. Well, I say completely free. The DVLA requires £17 to process the information, but other than that, everything is completely free. And it's not a tough process at all. You need one document, which you can print yourself, and 2 people to sign it. And as long as you have that, it's completely legal. And I don't understand how we can have a law like that and we can't have self-ID laws. I don't understand how we can have a law like that and not have proper access to trans medical health, you know? You have a law that gives you, like, literally, access to be called anything you want at all. But as soon as a law comes in, say, I want to be referred to as a female rather than a male, all hell breaks loose. The UK is pathetic. I do feel like people who say I'm not a girl though. Hey, look at it this way, right? If someone says you're not a girl, just literally go, oh, I'm sorry. And then refer to them in the opposite light, the opposite thing. It's the same mentality like I said earlier. Whatever you dish, I can dish it back twice as bad. That is a way, apparently, a lot of people have got people to call them right. Well, like, let's say I did all my stuff and people were still referring to me with him. Depending on their gender, I would change their pronouns. So if someone at work, one of the guys, was like, oh yeah, he's done this, he's done that. Whenever someone was asking me about them, I would go, oh yeah, that's something she did. Because I know it gets like a mind game, basically. Is the second they start saying, oh yes, she did, my mind instantly then goes, right, you've got to stop it now. And then, oh yeah, he did that. You just have to know when to stop it, because if you go over and keep doing it, then you're the offensive one. I just point to my ID and say, look, according to the government, I am. And move about my days. That's the best way to do it. Just maybe don't even tell them. Maybe like just be like, hey, look, that's what you want. If you want to believe that, just look at them and go, you know you're jealous. Which is where a lot of it comes from. That's where a lot of transphobia comes from. It's straight up jealousy. Exactly. It's rare. It's so rare. Like I said earlier, we get nothing in headlines and stuff like, all we get is like, oh yeah, trans person killed. Oh yeah, this is what's happening with trans healthcare now. Like, you know, like all these like negative stories. Maybe like the odd positive one. But it's always like, oh yeah, this person's been killed, or this person's been severely injured. The trans person, very one, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that does not happen. It's like a 1 in like 15,000 chance that it's going to happen to you. And I'm not going to lie, I like those ads. Exactly. And then new people you meet, you're just like, yeah, I'm a girl. I'm completely female. Weren't you a bit? No. Girl. Completely female. I remember you in no. My boyfriend dates women. There you go. The hardest part is with people you already know. Once you've done that, you're half the battle done. Yeah. It is late. I was meant to finish like 40 minutes ago, but I got carried away. Right, I'm ending now then. In that case, I need to sleep because I've got a day and a half ahead of me tomorrow. I'm trying to think of some words of I'm too tired. I'll have a wonderful night. And I wish you a wonderful night as well. Take care of yourself. Eat your fries. Don't give up. Right. Pushing along.